Hello all and welcome back to the channel. Okay, so Xbox are going to be running an Xbox event. So I don't know if you've heard State of Play's on later today. That's the PS5 event, so I'm not sure what's going to be shown there. The last few, pretty much all their State of Plays have been very lackluster. So I'm curious to see what they show there, because we'll talk more about that further on in this video. But let's talk about the Xbox event. So Xbox will be reportedly holding an event related to Bethesda next month. So this is the event will be in March. Microsoft announced last year that ZeniMax Media and its subsidiary Bethesda Softworks would be acquired by the corporation folded into Xbox Game Studios lineup in 2021. So this was news, obviously you've all been aware of a while back. But Game Beat's Jeff Grubb in the latest Game Beat Decides podcast, Xbox is planning to be holding an event sometime in March, he said. This is a while back, where he'll discuss many things, including exclusivity and stuff like that. So it's getting closer to March now, and there's a few rumours rolling about and a few things on people's minds. Namely, Starfield and Elder Scrolls 6. Will they be including PlayStation in their release, or will they be exclusive to Xbox and PC alone? So we're not really sure. Everyone's still wondering what's happening. Including that, you could mention Machine Games, who are working on Indiana Jones. There's been a lot of questions about that too. So I'm intrigued to find out more in March, mid-March, when this show happens. So we'll finally all be put to rest. Personally, I don't care. It doesn't bother me. I have always said for a long time there shouldn't be exclusives. You should be able to choose whatever platform you want to play on, and you just play them there. That's why I don't care. The Xbox games are going to PC. In fact, you can still get many PS4 fanboys. It's still going over their heads. They're still not grasping it. They're saying they keep running down Xbox, saying they're just going to buy all their games on PC. Yes, good. Xbox want you to do that. They don't care that you're not buying their consoles. You're buying their games. So you're still giving money. You're still going to be spending more money on Xbox games than you are PlayStation games, because there's going to be more Xbox games than PlayStation games. So I don't know who you think you're hurting by saying, I'm not going to buy your console, but I'm going to buy your games. I don't know who you think you're hurting by that. It's ridiculous. It's the stupidest thing I've ever heard. It's incredible. So I don't care if the game's exclusive. However, just to Xbox and PC. However, it would be an interesting move for Xbox, should they do it, just to show, or just to compete directly with Sony. Because we know if these are in the hands of Sony, they will be exclusive. The end, because they're very anti-consumer. They don't really care. They want you to buy their console. They force you to buy their console. If you want to buy their games, you play them on their console. That's it. No alternative. Kind of, which we'll go back and later on go over in the video. So Sony is still fully not sort of involving all players. They're still very much into themselves. There is no option other than a console. Kind of. But so yeah, that's that. So let me know what you, if you're interested, what you're sort of, where your mindset, where do you think? Ironically, a lot of Sony fanboys are saying it's not fair if Xbox makes these games exclusive. Some weird sort of flip-flopping hypocrisy, contradiction, irony, a mixture, a bowl of soup of just nonsense involved in that statement there. But let's move on to the next topic. And the next topic is exclusivity for the PlayStation this time. PS4 exclusive Days Gone Remastered for the PS5 is now coming to PC. So, of course, they're making a remastered version of this because Sony love to make more money off remastered games rather than just offering on backwards compatibility. Yes, this is coming to PC. A PlayStation 5 remastered game is going to PC. And yes, so it looks like the talk is there's going to be quite a few games, PlayStation 5 in particular, going to PC. They've not been listed yet, but they're hinted at more PS4 games, if not all PS4 games are now going to PC, but more PS5 games. This is good for Sony. I've said it in previous videos before. I made a video a while back about it as well, focusing just on that. This is good. Sony should do this, as I just said in my last statement about Bethesda games. Sony should do this. Do not listen to your gamers. They're morons. They're idiots, full stop. You need to make money, Sony, and the best way to do it is by putting your games on more platforms. So then you can make more games, you can make better games, you can make a better console, and you can become a better company. Please don't hold the exclusives thing because your fan base are morons and are insecure and need to own a console and need to own these games and don't want anyone else to play them unless you buy that console. We don't need that anti-consumer nonsense in gaming. I'm sorry, we don't need that stupid politics. So this is a good move for Sony if they keep with it. So that's interesting to hear. So it'd be interesting to see what other games come out in the future that will be on PC. Hopefully all of them. It will be very good for Sony. So please, once again, let me know what you think down below. So onwards to the next subject. Before I start the next subject, I must say I said Days Gone is going to be a PS5 remastered version. It's not a specific remastered, it's just going to be a backwards compatible game. So, but the PC will be getting the backwards compatible version. So, the upgraded version of that, whatever that may be. So, moving on. So, it turns out Gran Turismo 7 has been delayed to 2022. So, wow, man, Sony always do this. The annoying thing about this is not so much the games have been delayed, because the game should be delayed if it improves them, is that Sony, at the launch of their console, to compete against Xbox that was dropping games after games and showing games, we've got this coming, it's coming, but didn't put dates to them, because you shouldn't put dates to them until you're sure. Sony didn't. Sony was all, we were all about, no, you're definitely getting this game in 2021. Same with God of War. You're going to get God of War in 2021, you're going to get Horizon Zero Dawn, the 2 in 2021, you're going to get Gran Turismo 7 in 2021. All the fanboys went out, bought PS5 thinking they're going to get those games in 2021. Turns out, as many Xbox gamers said, you're not. So Gran Turismo has already been delayed, and there's many rumours now, which I mentioned again a while back. God of War, very unlikely to be a 2021 title, or very likely to be a 2022 title as well. So, as it stands this year, the only game you possibly will get is Horizon Zero Dawn 2 as a first-party game. Possibly. But we've not even seen much news on that. But Gran Turismo 7 is yet another game delayed to 2027. Now, the thing also about this is that they're blaming COVID. They're saying it's delayed because of COVID. COVID. My issue with the COVID delay is that they keep using this excuse for this stuff. They keep using COVID while the rest of the world goes on and games are still getting made. And while it was sort of some part of delay of games that are releasing right in the middle of COVID last year, the gaming world's actually been booming. It's actually bigger than it's ever been. The online world and money being made from online purchasing is booming, and it's the biggest it's ever been, including gaming. So now they're blaming COVID for this. But oddly enough, Sony is still making movies. I mean, they've delayed their movie. Sony delays Morbius, starring Jared Leto, to January 2022. So they're still making movies, but they only delayed that to January 2022. But it's not because of COVID. They've delayed this because they don't want to compete with James Bond. So it's got nothing to do with COVID. So they've delayed that movie because they don't want to compete with James Bond, but they're delaying a game because of COVID. I find it hard to believe they're delaying the game because of COVID. If anything, they're delaying the game because it's not ready to be launched. That is why, and they just don't want to cut out of it because they said that we're going to give you this game to you in 2020. Please buy a console. You'll be getting GT7 in 2021. They knew you would be getting it in 2021, and they don't want to tell you that, so they're going to make out it's COVID. Meanwhile, the films are still being made by the same company. Films are still being made. It's only just, this is what I don't like, when they can be misleading, but they're so misleading, Sony. This is what I don't like them as a company. They will tell you something, but it's only ever half truths, or it's just very sly the way they do things. I just don't think the game's been delayed because of COVID at all, because they're still making movies, they're still releasing movies. The game never had any intention of releasing in 2021, same as God of War, let's be honest with you. It was just a marketing ploy to sell PS5s. in 2020. They advertised the PS5. They had to have something to show. They had to pull you on board. So they lied to you, misled you, and said, "Oh, in 2021, next year, you'll be getting these games." Knowing full well you wouldn't do. And then come round to that time, they're going, "Oh, sorry, it's delayed because of COVID. Oh, it won't be till 2022, I'm afraid." These guys never had intention, as I said, of releasing it in 2021. Same as God of War. And they would have released their films, but they don't want to compete. This is probably the real reason. It's probably not ready to be released at all. The COVID thing's a lie. I think they just weren't even near to completing it. It was just not what they showed was just a tiny little cutscene of something. And also, probably the time it was going to compete, they wouldn't want to compete. I mean, Halo has been now delayed to mid to the end of the year. This is probably one of the reasons why they've delayed. They didn't want to put this game up against Halo or Forza Horizon, which is due to apparently rumoured to release in November. They didn't want to put that up against GT as well, because last time Forza and GT went head to head, GT lost. So that's probably what I'm going to do. Sony are almost known for releasing games in a window where there's nothing else releasing. They like to compete with nothing. If you look at all their games, they never release alongside anything big. They're always at least a month to 6 weeks after any big releases, where Xbox will happily just drop their games when they just fancy it. Don't care who they're competing with. It could be Call of Duty, could be Red Dead Redemption, could be anything. They'll just drop their games when they feel like it. Sony, no, they don't like. They sure are not competition. So yes. So let me know what you think below. Please share. I'd love to see your views and all this. And thank you all for watching once again. Goodbye for now.